Hey guys, welcome to episode 56 of 4PlayerAnimecast. This is the third round of the fall 2016 season. I am your host, Spire, and joining me are the regulars. What's up, Nier?
Not much. Not much is.
Yeah, I mean, we're
Uh,
also wrapping up, and we still have like series to cover, but it's like a lot of them again have been talked about in pretty decent length. I don't think any of them are really going to change. You think, right? Like,
uh, yeah.
you think
The
Izata is
only,
gonna show us up? Show
I
us what's
mean,
what?
I'd like it to,
Yeah, I mean, I
but
would too.
but it probably won't.
Okay.
Um, I, I have you been able to find a single sub of Luger code?
No, I actually haven't.
Because I have
I
I
searched
haven't
it earlier on and I couldn't, but I haven't searched it later on.
I
It's
haven't
still not out.
I haven't been able to find one. So I don't know if anybody's doing that.
People are just like, no, it's fine. Like whatever.
Yeah.
They threw
I
that out to do Chunisai.
yeah, yeah. Got your priorities straight. Um,
There's
but yeah, I watched Token Rainbow finally. Um,
Mhm.
it's
I need to
okay.
watch more of that. I think yeah. Did did you have anything kind of like different from what we talked about? We talked about it as like Kankale with more of the boys doing whatever
Yeah,
things,
it's
and
like it's like Conclave, but
except the
they know
battles
what
don't
they're
really matter.
doing.
Yeah, also the battles don't really matter. Like they're not like,
Yeah,
wow, the fate, like there's this red string of fate or whatever it was, whatever like
yeah. The
Akagi
String
was
of
talking
Fate,
about, Akagale, yeah, the string of fate that
and
binds
then
us all, and then they
and
all
then
died
it
of
didn't matter in
yeah,
the
Yeah,
yeah,
but
whatever.
the thing is, man,
But yeah, there's nothing like it's not going hard and like, whoa, battles, people are gonna die. It's like,
yeah.
there's the battle in the first
Like it needs to
episode,
happen,
and
yeah,
then
but it's
and then
not
it's
like,
like, hey, be careful out there,
yeah,
nobody, you don't want to break because there's
yeah,
swords.
yeah,
um
yeah, but
and
pretty
then
much
it's like,
this one is slice of life compared to Kankole, which is a serious anime. I mean,
except it shouldn't have been.
half of it,
but
yeah,
yeah,
half of
um
it
we
was,
don't
yeah,
have to go there again.
exactly.
yeah, it's basically like Conclave, but they know what they're doing. I like it. uh
Who's your favorite?
from what they've shown, uh like just personality wise, I like the guy with the painted fingernails.
Uh, Uh,
Is that
Yeah, the guy in
the is
red.
that the is that the sidekick? That's not the sidekick, right?
Yeah, this the side guy, the guy who
Oh, okay, yeah,
also
okay, it is the side guy.
the guy who like also belonged to Okita Soji or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, I do. I kind of like that guy with the eye patch. The big, big
Okay.
manly man. He's pretty cool too. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, they're cute, cute
like
boys.
boy, you don't like the
Pretty
boy
handsome.
with the long hair?
Which one?
Yeah,
I,
which one
There's
is
like four of them.
that's the real
I don't
question.
know.
Okay. So that's good. We'll talk more about series you watched later on. What about you, Toast?
The latest episode of Keijo was pretty good. Shut up.
I told
Oh,
you.
they-
I
oh, yeah.
fucking told you.
There was a picture I think that was going around the interwebs that I think Toast also kept posting, and uh, people were just so confused because it said like "sure you can" or whatever
Sure you
with
can.
CANN at the end, and it was like her just like busting somebody's jaw with like her boobs or whatever it was, and
Well, I mean, that's what a
people were
sure you can is. It is
no, no,
a.
no, I don't know. People were really confused about it because the Japanese translation was "shoryupai," which is like they
Oppai.
mix "shoryuken" and then "oppai." Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And while you can do that in Japanese much easier and it sounds better in kanji, it doesn't. It sounds pretty awful when you're trying to mash together "shoryuken," which is the Street Fighter move, and boobs. That the two
Yeah,
words do not
man.
mix well together.
Don't.
Sure
So
you, boob.
yeah, so they put in cans instead, which
That's
worked
pretty
well
good,
with a
man.
word. Yeah,
That's pretty
I mean
good.
it worked well with a word. Like they tried as hard as possible, but then like nobody uses cans as a synonym or like as a colloquialism for booze. So it's like
I
oh,
mean,
do, man.
maybe if Wow, it look was at those like cans. 50 years ago.
yeah, I
I
know.
mean,
But
leave them
I
alone.
saw
They're,
I think
they're trying.
yeah, I saw that picture. I was like, you guys tried so hard. Like you guys tried so hard. I feel so bad for you guys right now.
Well, they did the same thing last episode with K acceleration, they translate it as W acceleration for wedgie.
God.
You're trying, man. Leave
Uh,
him alone.
yeah. Sure
Keijo
you
did nothing
can.
wrong.
So it was mainly
Yeah, it
Keijo, I
did.
think, for you. And I think you said also Tawa on Monday, the viral video that's been sweeping the world.
It's, what's the full name? Get
It
Getsuyobi
was
no
Tawa on
Tawa,
Mondays, right?
which translates to as
Yobi no
Tawa
Tawa.
Mondays. Yeah.
Yeah, that's been that.
Tawawa is like it's like the automatopoeia of boobs moving or something like that, so that's why it's called that.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty
That's
good,
the
eh?
name, and it's pretty good. Yeah, okay.
I
All right,
mean,
we'll come back to
if
that
if you
later.
like big boobies and like it's the author Himura Kiseki, he made these specifically for the tired office workers who are like having dreary Mondays, so he's like, here, have some
Here, I'll
boobies.
just draw some office lady with boobs. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, can you blame him?
Yeah.
I can't.
You know, I'm fine.
If I liked big boobies, why wouldn't I just watch Occultic 9?
Fucking. All right, we'll come back to
Nice
that.
segue.
I didn't
Uh,
watch Occultic 9.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Dark. So, what were you up to these last 2 weeks?
Kind of just same stuff
Same
last
stuff.
week.
Oh,
Watching
yeah.
Udon,
Yeah, Udon,
Flip
Drops Numbers,
Flappers.
Stelna Maho. Tried to
I
find a
didn't
good
catch
sub
them.
for Stelna Maho.
No, okay, no. See that's the thing, and a miracle came down. Like they changed the subs. I don't
Dude.
know. I don't know if it was Bud Light subs is actually doing it, but so Horrible Subs was the one I watched. So Bud Light subs originally changed so that they weren't the horrible meme subs anymore. At least I think. But the problem is that horrible subs might have either stolen their subs or just Daisuke subs directly. I don't know who changed it because everyone's stealing from each other.
Yeah.
I don't
Doesn't
know if
horrible subs steal from Crunchyroll?
No, horrible subs will
Horrible
not make
subs
any
steal
money.
from anything.
Subs
Doesn't
will
matter.
steal from any
I don't think anybody
any official subs.
I don't think Bud Light would have worked on anything like that. I'm not sure. I think all people did with Stella no Maho were small edits to the Daisuke subs, and then they just kind of like gave up on it or something like that. I don't even know.
Yeah, because as of right now, it's seeming like Daisuke drastically changed subs because they don't do like the slang anymore. They don't do the suffixes anymore. They threw that all out, which was honestly like the biggest problem. Like there's still grammar errors and stuff every now and then, but it's not awful anymore.
Okay, so they probably like kicked the QC. They hired somebody that was above the minimum wage in that state. They're like, yeah, I think we actually need to like, hire somebody who speaks English. That
Yeah.
would be nice.
Does anybody in the room speak English, please?
You're hired. It's like they
It's
call their
not even does anyone speak English. It's like does anyone know how people actually? Because
Is anybody here under the age of 75?
yeah, well, not God. It's like
Or buff.
under the age,
Head.
yeah, under the age of 75 and maybe above the age of 12. Because
Has anybody taken something beyond the ESL test? Is what
they
we're
were
going
like, the biggest problem was with the slang because they were throwing around like juicy and stuff, and I'm like, shut up,
Darling.
like shut up. No one fucking says juicy. Like instead of saying
do.
amazing or impressive, they're like, wow,
there's
that's
this one
juicy.
That's
do.
a tasty plasma.
Come on, I'm
Oh,
I'm
shit.
praising you, girl. Or hella cute. These are actual lines, by the way.
Yeah, hella cute.
Hella cute.
Praising you, girl.
Alright, so
sounds like that's what sounds like aged white old men think what teenage high school girls say nowadays.
teenage high school girls in Japan speak.
I mean,
There's
you would know,
something like-
Spire. You would know.
I think these girls say something along the lines. Hell, yeah, put that in. I think that's exactly how they do it. Oh god, Sonamaho, what a freaking mess. Anyways, we'll maybe expound on that a bit more later. But as for me, I've been going through the usual stuff. Girlish number, Udon, Funeno Amu, because that started up.
Hmm.
Obviously, I've dropped Magical Girl Raising Project. I kind of want to go back to Token Rambu and watch more episodes. There are more series. There are other series that I kind of like want to see. I forgot what it was. Oh, I need to see more of Gakuen Handsome.
I mean,
Gakuen Handsome.
everybody does.
Dude, did you see that Chinese cosplay of Gakuen Handsome?
Yeah, man, that was pretty good.
Link it
That
again.
was so good. I was like, when I saw their tits, I was like, yes, yes. That Magic Renaissance. That's the other music garbage series I need to watch. And Anitore. Anitore is that it? I think that's pretty much all I need. Oh, Kitaro Shonen no Yokai Aniki, the one where it's like the boy gets bugged by the female like spirits or whatever, yokai spirits or whatever. Yeah.
Isn't that that's the
Anyway.
Chinese one?
Yeah, no, that's
I
not the Chinese
legit
one.
don't know. There is
No,
a
that's not the
Chinese one
Chinese
that's just like
There
that.
are like 4 different Chinese ones.
It's like a Fox matchmaker or something. One.
Wait, what do you mean? Okay, like, like we're done hating on Magical Girl Raising Project, but that
It'll never be
series,
over.
yeah, it'll never be over as long as it remains a terrible survival game with a terrible setup for the girls to die. But that's whatever. Anyways,
As long as it's
moving on.
awful, there's no reason to stop.
Anyways, we're moving on. We've talked about survival games and how they're not that good many times. So, um, so let's start off with Huneo Amu. Both Nir and I have watched it, and I think it's one of the series that were pretty hyped up for people who did like slice of life. Here, fuck. You can't post stuff like that when I'm talking, okay?
I don't know what you're talking about. It's fire.
Alright. So Funeo Amu, Slice of Life, it was about a group of people in a publishing department work who work to make a dictionary or to make and publish a dictionary, and it's just them interacting with each other throughout the struggle. Like Jose, I believe is the genre. I forget who it's made by, but
Based on
anyways.
a live action movie.
Yeah, it is based on a live action movie, which I believe was more romance focused, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure whether this will be more romance focused, but I guess if it's like a straight kind of
It seems like it.
off.
Have you gotten to how far have you gotten?
I've gotten 3 episodes in.
Okay. Cuz
Yeah.
like they introduce what I mean what seems like the main love interest in the 3rd episode. So
Okay. They did or the studio is Zex or ZEXCS, who's known for stuff like Rental Magica, Omamori Himari, DC Del Capo, Fortune Arterial, Aknohana.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Oh boy.
It's the art is decent actually. Mangaka Santa San, I think, and a couple of other stuff that was. They did a lot of series, slice of life, like rom-com series in the 2005, 2006 era, but now they're sort of doing a lot more, I guess, strange slice of life stuff. Anyways, what's your initial impressions on it, Nier?
It's pretty good. Some of the see, like in the 1st episode, I was kind of liking how it was going. Minus some of like, there's some weird direction choices in this, like visual
Scripting.
direction choices. I
Visual
mean,
too, yeah.
um,
Sometimes I couldn't
like
tell
the
whether it
first,
was. Yeah.
like
Sorry.
the first shot of the main character getting off the subway in the 1st episode,
Mhm.
and then it like shows a shot of people going up the stairs,
Mhm.
and it does these really big letterboxes for 2 frames, and I'm like, what? Why are you showing random people with letterboxes?
Yeah.
Like, what is this? What is this supposed to
Well,
convey?
it matters a bit later on with what he says, right, in episode 2. But what he mentions then isn't that important, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like there's no importance to those shots. So why would you put letterboxes on them? It's weird. But then there's the stuff where like, the editor guy is going to be the main character, and it goes all kind of like black and white, like almost sketchy type art style, where there's words floating all over the place, and the main character is kind of pushing words around on the books, and some of that stuff's really cool. The stuff in I think the second episode where like words will come out of books like water, and
Yeah.
they
So,
like
so
flow around stuff.
yeah, they,
That's
they try
pretty
to do
cool
like a
too.
lot of artistic stuff, but some of them, yeah, as you said, the whole like the letterbox and all of that,
Yeah, some of them just come in at really weird moments.
unimportant times, yeah,
Like this is a cool effect,
yeah,
but there's nothing happening to
or
make this
like
effect like
overestimating.
powerful.
Yeah, exactly. Like it reminds me of like Kyoka, like Kyoka's effects, but like Kyoka like had them at very like important and like drastic
Yeah.
moments, right? Where it's like it really enhanced it. But it's like some of them like spoiler alert for about 30 seconds, but or to a minute. But at the end of episode one, the editor that's trying to find the last person, the main character, for to get him into the dictionary editing department, sees the main character, or like goes into his department, goes into the main character's department, sees the main character like putting in a book, and suddenly it goes into this like bloom like like super
Yeah, the
bloom
weird
because
slow motion
like the
thing where
words go,
and
like
he's
words are floating out of like the book like spine and stuff like that, and it's going into this full Hyoka like splendid Kyoani
yeah,
mode, and I'm just like it's an important moment, but it's not that important. It's not like a super like fantastical moment. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's
Like
like, oh, I
the
found this like that.
effects
Yeah.
were really cool and stuff.
Oh wait, let me revise that. It's an important moment and it should be emphasized. But what's like the quality of what's being emphasized? Like he's putting a book in. Wow, that
Yeah,
means I want to get him as an editor. Like that's not how it works, right? But it's like, like what are you trying to emphasize that he's
like there's all these effects going on, and then the editor like sees the main character, and
he's
he's
like
like,
books.
"Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm putting this book on this shelf. Do you need something, sir?"
And he's like, yeah.
And then all this fucking dramatic shit's going on. It's like,
He's like,
okay,
yeah, I like the way you put that book in the drawer, by the way.
okay, can I hire you?
Like the scene afterwards was like really good, but then the scene before it was like books. He's putting a book in. And it's
Yeah,
like what? What?
yeah.
Yeah, I really agree with that.
There's some weird direction choices, but I think overall it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's
Um,
definitely solid for what it presents.
yeah,
Another thing, if I can point it out, is this also goes uh, along with what you said about sort of this awkward direction, is that the script writing for the main character interaction, I'm not sure whether this is a part of the original. If it is part of the original thing and it's more about, how the character has a weird personality, that'd be really cool. But I'm not sure if it is. But it has this thing where it's like the character kind of just goes into these, like it starts just presenting this trivia. Like somebody's like, oh, blah,
numbers
blah,
start
blah.
flying up on the screen, and he
Yeah,
starts
it's like
waving his hands around.
it's like a beautiful mind or whatever. Right,
Yeah,
man? Where it's like somebody asks him about, like, can't you read the mood? Can't you read the atmosphere? And he starts doing this like 1-2 minute spiel
yeah.
about
He goes on about like
what
the
is the definition
different
of atmosphere.
definitions of air for
Yeah,
a minute, and it's like, mate, you okay?
yeah.
Like
But
you stop.
it's like I can appreciate it when the dude goes into this trivia, uh, and does explains these things in a context where it makes sense, where somebody asks him the question, and these things situations do happen. But when he's just like when somebody's doing it, and he's like, oh, atmosphere, or like blah blah blah, and I appreciate the trivia, but I really don't appreciate how the script is written to kind of force that sort of like trivia in, and I wish it'd make it clear on whether he's actually awkward, or if he's actually like if he has some sort of like personality, quirk of some kind that makes him do these things. Because if he does, it'd still be interesting and I'd understand. But if he doesn't, that's not awkward. Like this is far from awkward. He's just saying stuff. So I wish they'd maybe fix that or make it clear or something like that. But yeah, that's just like one thing I wanted to point out.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I have high hopes for it. I think it can go good places. there's some weird stuff here and there that makes
Yeah,
me
it
a
needs it
little
has
uneasy.
it's a bit rough. It's a bit rough, I think. That's how to describe it. But yeah. Anyways, moving on from that. Or any last words on Funeo Alma? You probably
Um,
recommend it to people. Would you recommend it to people in like general, not just like in the slice of life sense?
yeah, I think so. I think it's a good. It's like a good. It's just a well. So far, it's a well put together anime. Like the audio visuals aren't anything to brag about, but they're serviceable enough. All the vocal performance is really good. The characters are likable so far, and yeah, it seems promising. I'd say give it a watch.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on from that. Yeah, I'd also definitely recommend it, but it's definitely solid. Again, a bit rough around the edges, but hopefully it clears out soon. And maybe it's just like an adaptation thing. Moving on to Udon. So this one, I also again did watch it, and Dark has been, talking up the storm about it in the past like couple of episodes, I believe. But I think we do want to give a sort of general rundown of it with Dark and I, just because I finally came around watching it, and Dark has stopped berating me now. Dark, listen, listen.
You fucking said like 9
Believe me.
times. It was like the beginning of
That is so true. I
Girlish Number all
apologize.
over
Hey,
again.
hey, I apologize.
You're like, yeah,
I
man, I'll
apologize.
watch
Please
it.
don't hit me.
9 years later, you're like, yeah, I'm like halfway through episode 1.
God. I regret everything. Do you want me to give an initial impression, and then you can kind of add on to it because you also kind of, I guess, gave an initial impression anyways, like beforehand.
Sure.
Okay. So I did watch Udon again. Udon, going over very quickly. It's a series about a man, I think software engineer who comes from Tokyo, or who went from a relatively rural village, or relatively kind of a quiet village slash town. It's not like rural, but it's quiet, to Tokyo, became a software engineer, and ran away from his like father's like udon shop, which was really famous in the town, and it comes back after being in Tokyo to his father's udon shop, and which is now like closed and stuff like that. Meets a tanuki like child, and kind of goes through these experiences. Like he sees the changes that have gone in the town, that have gone on in the town while he was away in Tokyo. And so a lot of these things go on, and this series, obviously on Twitter, elsewhere, from us, have drawn very similar, or have drawn remarks about it being super similar to stuff like Barakamon. Uh, a lot of these series where it's like, oh, a city dude goes to the country and learns that living the country life is super relaxing, stuff like that, right? But so that was part of the fear, right? I mentioned in the preview. I was just like, maybe it's just gonna be like another thing like that. The city dude learns what building characters like, meets with the kids. It finds peace in his life, whatever. But Udon is slightly different. I'm not gonna say it's like super unique or whatever, but it is definitely different. It's different in a very subtle way though, and what I think is the major point that sticks out to me is that Ura no Kuni is about Sota, Tawara, right? Is his last name? Tawara Sota's,
Yeah, there's something like that.
or something, yeah. It is
Very
about
close.
Tawara Sota's life, or his current, like, present experiences. It's really not about anything else. Like, so what I'm saying is that there are things around him, like people come and interact with him, Poco, the Tanuki kid, interacts with them. Um, his friend interacts with them, gives him advice and stuff like that. But they're all inputting into him. They're all giving him experiences. The viewer is watching everybody kind of everybody kind of go through this like passage of time, change around Taura, and give input to him. I've changed. This is the life I lead now. Maybe I would have done something different. How are you doing? And Sota is also going through these changes. But in the end, it's about Sota. It's not about, we don't see anybody else sort of receiving this interaction and reacting. They're not like, oh, now that Sota's here and he's done these things, now I've really changed and I'm going to stick within the story and, give these, changing reactions, evolving reactions. It's not really like that.
Yeah.
Do you kind of agree? Because usually like with Barakamon and whatever, it's like, oh, the city dude comes in to the town and he changes, but he also changes the people around him, and it's like the nice like happy family thing, right? Like the town interacts with them, and maybe they get help with him, helping build a town or barn raising or whatever it is, right? Japanese farm people do, and then he plays with the kids, and the kid that's usually his sidekick becomes nicer or whatever, right? But a lot of that's sort of cut out, and it's a lot more focused on him, like how he's like, oh man, so many things have changed. So I think I like that part where it's like they try to focus on the person and not, oh, this is how the town is kind of thing. But yeah, what do you think about that sort of?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely how I felt about it too. I think like the God, how did I put it? It's sort of like, as far as story goes, the reason why it's that way is because he's not just coming from a city like a Barackman, like he's just coming from a city. It's like he used to live there, so it's like he's going back and he's getting nostalgic about how he remembered things being.
Right.
So I feel like that kind of adds to their ability to play with that.
Yeah,
Also,
I also like the part where he doesn't really, as you said earlier on, or in earlier episodes, that he doesn't really play around with like the flashbacks too much, where it's like, or the sort of like emotional flashbacks too much, where he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna leave the house, fuck me, moved on. Like he doesn't play with that too much, or the script doesn't play with that too much.
yeah, all it really does, which is nice, is because it's like, well, the thing is it's not really that much of a spoiler. He's very clearly is going to take over the restaurant, or at the very least do something to keep running, because he's getting not only nostalgic about it, but there have been so many moments where he's just like, oh, I kind of fucked up. Like I shouldn't have really done a lot of the things that I did and stuff like that. So it's like very much it's very much him sort of starting to ignore his old life in a way. And just relearn that like, oh, there's this other more calm life that he honestly prefers, and like he regrets not better to his father and stuff like that. And, there's a lot of episodes in which it's hinted that like Poco is like his way to redeem himself with that. Like he meets one of his old high school classmates, and she has a kid, and she's talking about how she might have gone to Tokyo, and sometimes she starts to think about that, but then like when she cooks and takes care of her daughter, she realizes that that doesn't actually matter to her.
Yeah.
Like she's happy where she is right now. And if she had gone to Tokyo, maybe she wouldn't be in this position that she's in.
Yeah. Again, and this is like her telling this to him. It's not like they're really interacting, which sounds bad. Like like when we say it, it sounds kind of bad. But it's like when you kind of think about it, and it's like it's more him doing this like homecoming, like him kind of basking within the changed face of the town. It's a bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds really bad when we're just like, yeah, they're just telling him these things, but that's not how it really works in the anime. Like you have to see it.
Well, the way the change I feel kind of works too is that it works on two levels. That in a way, like we really don't know how much has actually changed, or like I kind of see it as a way of him remembering things and his own like bias against his past from when he moved to Tokyo out of like out of almost like spite towards his dad. It's kind of like he's coming back and he's like, well,
you're right. Yeah.
It's not as bad as I thought it was. Actually, this kind of great.
Yeah. what I kind of would like a bit more from Udon, although they do cover this once or twice in the episodes, is the struggle with wasted time, because I think that's a strong thing that happens in episode 1 or 2, where it's like the grandma like tells him, like it's kind of like sometimes used as a comedy skit, where it's like the grandma's just like, yeah, you went to Tokyo and you wasted your time there, haha, and the dude's like, oh god, this granny's right, and stuff like
Yeah.
that. It's used as a comedic thing, but I think what would be a bit more uncommonly, like uniquely done, would be to kind of think about that. It's like, did I really waste time there? What's what does wasting time mean to me? You know what I mean? Because he did go over there and do something that's like completely unrelated to what he's doing now.
Yeah.
So
I'd like to
I think,
see I'd like to see what the next episode is, because the next episode is him going back to Tokyo for a work emergency, and he takes Poco with him to see like Tokyo Tower and stuff. So I'd like to see if that's something where he sort of reflects on that and maybe doesn't like the way things are, especially since he had just been back to the country to experience that. Maybe now he'll have like a much fresher perspective on disliking the situation he's in or something.
yeah,
So I think that is a possibility.
yeah, definitely. I do again, even even just like Funeo, I would recommend this series even if you're not necessarily like a slice of life like person, because it's more just about the pure sort of character interactions than it is about him just going through the town. It's not really about that. It's a it. I would say it's even more sort of drawing on the josei shoujo kind of genre novel side, where it's like it's a bit more people focused. But yeah, what about you? Any sort of like closing words for Fune? I mean, Fune, excuse me. I just said this. But any closing words for Udon?
Uh, I mean, it's cozy. I think it's one of the better like slice of life cozy shows in the past few seasons. If you liked what was it, Amama, definitely watch this, because this is more of what Amama kind of was expected to be. Whereas like half of Amama became cooking tutorials, which I think is fine, but like it really wasn't that much slice of life stuff. But now it's like
Yeah,
this is very much so like a slice of life, like cozy show.
yeah, and it's and it and if and the person, and because of like the amount of sort of introspection that goes on, and the retrospection, I guess, because of the time passage thing, it's the script is forcing a slowdown upon the pacing of the story, which is nice.
Yeah. Also, if you want something where it's potentially going to, it'd be weird if it didn't like play more into the whole like really regret, because it already has,
Mhm.
and also the E is kind of like really showing that like directly to you.
Mhm.
Um, that to me has been something that I haven't really seen too often.
Right.
Just where it's like a character reflecting on their life and just saying, "I've fucked up for the past like 15 years of my life."
Like, what do I do now? Yeah.
It's not even like, "Oh, I made a mistake." It's like, I made a mistake. I knew I was making a mistake. I just went with it, and now it's been like 15 years, and I wish I hadn't done any of that.
And even kind of thinking like even before that, or I guess the entire questioning the premise itself, it's like, is it a mistake? Like, is this a mistake? Like, or kind of thing, right? Which was
Yeah,
more a bit more solved in like I think episode 3, episode 4. But I mean, like, I mean his problem with being here was solved, I think. Uh, but sometimes I think his problem of what do I do with the time that I spent over in Tokyo now? Like,
yeah. Like he very clearly like
yeah,
doesn't really want to go back
yeah.
anymore.
That's what I said. But he solved the problem here. But now,
Yeah, but
what
now
about back
he's
then?
yeah,
Yeah.
he's just kind of he's just like the fact that he's going back to work now. In the next episode, I think we'll see a lot about that, which will be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely a solid recommendation from Obviously dark, but also from me too. Definitely after having watched it. So check it out. And then finally, we come to the Shoryu pie master himself, Toast. What have you? I actually no.
You already asked
I
me.
don't want to go into another
Wow.
Keijo thing. I almost stepped on the landmine.
I'll just say
I
about
want you to
Keijo.
talk about the viral video that got shut down
You
on
already asked
YouTube
me
and
this
then
though.
like reopened again or whatever it was. Getsuyobi no Tawa
You were
or
the first
Tawa
per-
on Monday.
You already
If
asked
you
me
want to
this.
just give a quick like review on that, Toast.
This was the first thing
Because
you
I
asked
think
me.
it's just like a couple. It's like 2 OVAs worth or something like that, right?
This was the first thing you asked me already.
All right, good.
Toast, Toast is dead. All right,
Hello?
time to move on to the news, friends.
Oh,
Hello?
what?
Toast.
Holy, what the hell? Damn it, Discord. You already asked me about Tower 1. It was the first thing I talked about.
Yeah, I know, but if you wanted to say anything else, is there anything else you want to point out?
Not
Or do you
really.
want-
It's just
All right.
slice of life thing
Yeah.
with
Okay. Yeah,
three
just like with the Office Girls. Yeah.
three different large boobed girls. There's Ai-chan, who's the high school girl, the Kohai office lady, and then there's the fitness lady, but she's not very prominent. That's about it. There's not much to talk about. It's a viral video, 5 minutes, not even an anime. Just soothe your tired soul on Mondays, cause
Soothe your tired soul by watching an Office Lady slowly lean
as
into the
Garfield
body of
says, I
who
hate
is supposed
Mondays.
to be you, the person that is clearly not you, but is supposed to be you.
Self-insert. Yeah, sure.
Is self-inserter. But yeah. Well.
I don't know.
Tom, yeah, check it
Do
out.
you want me to talk
Just
about
like
Keijo? Cause it's
No,
getting good.
please
no,
don't. Please
we're
don't
moving
do
on to
it.
the news. All right. Anyways, moving on
The
to the
first
news.
major arc is over. Next to this training arc, and then next is my favorite arc.
Hey, remember that picture that I linked where she's like a Fujo, and that's kind of capturing why it's horrible.
Yeah, but that's the Cerberus girl. She's pretty cool. She's got a homing butt.
Who cares?
I do.
Fuck that show.
Are you?
Okay, so moving on to
Do
the
you
news.
not like women, Dark?
Yeah, I fucking hate them. No, I fucking hate a show that takes itself all seriously with how ridiculous it is and expects that to carry its comedy. Fuck you.
You don't like serious sports shows? Centered
Yeah,
around women?
it's very serious. Yeah. You know
All
what?
Okay,
God.
we need to actually move on. We've talked about Keijo enough
We're gonna
for
talk more
many
about Keijo
lifetimes.
later. Don't worry.
No, no, okay. Moving on to the news. Okay, first piece of news is just on the visual novel front, and on the visual novel front, Frontwing has been doing, they've been putting in some work. Obviously, they're probably working on the 18 plus patch for the second part of Grisaya. Please do an 18 plus patch so you're not cutting out like half the jokes in the all ages version. uh, but Frontwing is also announcing a sort of sequel to the Grisaya trilogy called Grisaya Phantom Trigger. For those who are fans, this is like set in the same universe, but it's a bit set in the future, probably something like that. So check that out. Or worldwide release set for, I believe, spring 2017 via Steam, and the third volume is tentatively slated for summer. Probably will be all ages too, so whatever. And they're also announcing a new. They started a countdown for a visual novel. I'm not sure what it is, but it's something. But yeah.
Are they finally translating Rewrite?
No, this is Frontwing. This is not a second
Okay.
project.
Is that
This is-
Mahotsukai no Yoru?
Shut up.
Shut up.
Fuck you.
All
Man.
right, we're moving on.
Jerk.
Next piece of news. So again, visual novel fans who are fans of Frontwing, please check that out. Next piece of news: Funimation will release Makoto Shinkai's Your Name or Kimi no Nawa film theatrically in the Los Angeles County for a week. This is they're doing this so they can qualify the movie for the Academy Awards.
Wait, when's the
so
Academy Awards?
I forget. But
'Cause the Yu-Gi-Oh movie's coming out November 26th.
Shut
Will
up.
it qualify?
it depends on where it's being aired, right? Or being
It's gonna
there-
be aired in the US, yeah.
okay. Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
the
if it
Yu-Gi-Oh
if it,
movie is
if it
gonna
was
get a fucking Academy Award.
yeah, I mean, if it was done like filmed like whatever before the deadline, then maybe.
Yeah,
But I
it
don't know the
released
exact
it
rules for
released
it.
in Japan last year, and they already got their DVDs. So
I mean, the point is, it needs to film theatrically in the U.S. before the deadline. I don't know what the deadline is, but they're probably trying to do this really early so they can do it for next year or something like that. But anyways,
can I write in the Yu-Gi-Oh movie?
right.
Your name is getting sent to the Shadow Realm. Here you go, boy.
The Academy Awards Shadow Realm. It's
Oh snap!
like Ricky Gervais opens like the letter like card that like shows the award winner, and then it slowly just like disappears like into the Shadow Realm. Oh Jesus. Anyways, so Rakute Shinkai Your Name, they're trying to really go for like Academy Award, like honorable mention or something like that, which hopefully it does. Uh, Shinkai's Kimi no Nawa has been breaking records like in the past couple of weeks, like left and right. It's gone past.
So has the Yu-Gi-Oh movie.
Yeah, I mean, but
Shut up.
so so Shinkai's movie has I think top Ponyo, Avatar, and the Keon film in sales. So it's like
Oh,
it's still running up.
how's it
So
how's it comparing against Girls in Panzer movie?
I don't know. I hope it's slightly bigger. Anyways,
How to compare to Shin Godzilla though?
uh, the only anime films to earn more than Kimi no Nawa are Ghibli and Miyazaki's Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle, and Princess Mononoke. So if it breaks those, it's gonna be big, and people are never gonna stop calling him the post Miyazaki.
That's
Dude.
such a bad term.
Yeah,
It's
I
not like
know.
it's not like he's dead or anything.
Yeah, I know. That's the worst part. It's
That's
not like it's
rude.
not like people are just like, yeah, whatever. Miyazaki's done or anything. But it's not like that's not how it works. But
You
anyway.
sure he's not dead?
Might as well be.
His
I
love
mean,
of
he's dead on
anime
the
has
anime.
died. Does it
Yeah,
count?
exactly. Oh Jesus. Anyways, if you're a fan of Kimi no Na wa, hopefully it wins the Academy Awards. Look out for that, and look out for it potentially breaking more records. Next piece of news, a little bit on the light novel front. J Novel Club, the service that we talked about last episode in the news segment, where it's like trying to uh, uh, share, I guess, translate digital copies of light novels and web novels and stuff like that, and all based upon a subscription service. They licensed Grimgar Fantasy and Ash, which is a pretty popular light novel and I think manga too stuff, as well as what's this called? I Saved Too Many Girls and Caused the Apocalypse. I think I read the manga version of this. I knew there was a light novel version, but I don't know. But yeah, they're
Wait,
trying to figure
what is that title? I saved too many girls and caused the
also Caused the
apocalypse.
Apocalypse.
Like,
It's like some, you know how Japanese people are so dumb with the titles. It's like
is it did they like save too many girls and now there's not enough men, so there's like a
yeah, dude,
like a girl apocalypse or something?
there probably is a web novel for that, but this one is just like
There actually is though. The one where there was that deadly virus that killed all of men. There's only like 3 or 4 men left.
I'm not sure whether you're talking about a manga
the
or
manga.
like a hentai thing, but
No,
anyways,
it's a
that
manga.
aside, yeah, that aside, this one is just about he saves like girls from different timelines and then they do stuff. But that being aside, I do like the pace that J Novel Club is picking up in terms of licensing, because this kind of puts the pressure on Yen Press and other people to kind of do stuff instead of just kind of doing shaky translations or whatever. Because again, J Novel Club can all put all their money on backend licensing and translations. They don't have to spend anything on like publishing and material processing. Shout out to them. Hopefully they don't become like Crunchyroll though. Dear God.
What do you mean, Spire? Crunchyroll is the last bastion of hope for official anime.
That's true.
What
they
about
are
Netflix?
You should be grateful.
they are
What about
completely
Netflix?
passable now in terms of how stuff work.
They are helping the anime industry, my friend. Okay.
So next piece of news, as you might have heard in our last episode, there is a new idol group by the founder of AKB48, Yasushi Akimoto. But this idol group is based upon 2D idols completely, and he says that this is an idol group that quote unquote crosses dimensions, and he has revealed the character designs for all of them, and they are drawn by like some very notable artists, by the way.
Very,
Akira
very
Toriyama.
They're getting paid
character
a lot
designers.
to like do
Nothing.
nothing. Yeah. It's like what is that? Not Valkyrie Mermaid, but what was that one series where like they had like a whole bunch of different doujin and hentai artists like work on a girl at a
Bikini
time.
Warriors.
Yeah, Bikini Warriors. It's like that. It's so like absurd. Anyways,
Yeah.
I see Hirokazu Koyama. You know what that guy does. He does the Type Moon stuff.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
The one that I keep confusing with Tony Taka for whatever reason.
Wow,
Anyways.
what the hell's wrong with
What?
Yeah, I keep confusing him with Tony Taka. Never mind. Anyways, so I wanted to go over this because I wanted to read the descriptions to you guys of the idols just to see how like these idol people are like out of their minds sometimes.
Yo, these are really descriptive.
Yeah,
man.
exactly. Okay, so here we go. Miyano Kono, 15 years old. She is egotistical and speaks in a Kansai dialect.
you? Don't you mean
this
a
is like one
North
incident.
Texan accent?
Yeah. This is
This one's my favorite.
Yeah.
Next
next
one.
one. Yeah. Nicole Saito, 17 years old and an idol. That is literally
Got
her
him.
description.
Nice.
This is drawn by the artist who did Saikano, I think the light novel stuff. So this is like really good.
You mean
design
how
for
to raise a
everyone.
boring girlfriend? More like how
Yeah.
to raise a boring idol. Oh.
Got
Shit!
him.
Let me go blast through the other ones really quickly. Miu Takigawa, 16 years old. She's an otaku and is a bit ignorant. Drawn by the character designer behind K-On!, Tamako Market, and Kokoro Connect, like the
She has
main
like her.
She has
girl
nice hair
behind
though.
Kyoani.
She has nice hair though.
Yeah.
She's cute.
Sex hair. Ayaka Tachikawa, 16 years old. She's aggressive and militant. I'm not sure what militant means, but that's not a adjective.
Does she own a
You
tank?
She's a Nazi.
you need to salute every time she comes into the room.
She owns a tank.
Yeah, character designed by the person who girlfriend beta and gross number stuff. And then the fate designer do Reika Saito, 17 years old. She's a student council president and an honor student. That's
I
cool.
I bet she's a magician.
Yeah.
100% she's a magician.
Where's her command seal?
Yeah, that's true. Jun Toda, 16
Does
year
she
old.
speak in Notoricon?
She acts. Jun Toda, 16 years old. She acts high class and is a tsundere, drawn by the person behind Kimi no Nawa, Toradora Anohana.
Toradora. 100%
Sakura.
tsundere.
Sakura Fujima, 17 years old. She's a daughter of a good family. I don't know what that means, but
Does that
Like
mean
she's rich or what?
she's a good
I don't.
girl?
Yeah, I guess it's a good.
Is she yayoi? I don't know.
Yeah. Drawn by the person who did Henneka, or the hentai person of Stony Cat. Or Hentai Oji to Warawarai Neka. And then finally, Akane Maruyama. 17 years old and cool. They're also drawn by another artist for
Cool.
Girlfriend Beta and Girl
Wow,
Stepper.
she's so
Cool.
fucking cool.
She's pretty cool.
Yes, I look at that hair.
She's got blue hair and everything.
Yeah.
She's cool.
Well, they really know their characters here.
Coolest kid in school.
So, I'm getting flashbacks to fucking Life is Strange already.
Uh,
Man, she's so
Yeah.
cool.
putting a chat
She's
was like they chose
hella
every
cool.
trope. They chose every trope. I'm just like, it's not hard to pick every trope when one of the things you pick is cool. Like,
Cool. dude.
anyways, these idol people are so funny.
Kuru.
But yeah, if you appreciate AKB stuff and you want to see how cool these idols can get, check them out in the near future. They will be crossing dimensions across the interrupts to you very soon. A couple of things on the Western Eastern sort of integrated adaptation front. Stan Lee, Hiroshi Nagahama are working together on anime called The Reflection. I think this is like an OVA. I'm not sure whether this is a full series or an OVA. It might be a full series. He's working with Studio Dean. And again, director Hiroshi Nagahama, who did Mushishi, Akunohana, Detroit Metal City, stuff like that.
Detroit
I don't know why they did say
Nice.
Akunohana. Why did they keep playing Akunohana?
Because it was revolutionary, man.
It was really- But yeah, he's
Like,
working
no-
together with them.
It was so good that no other anime has ever tried to copy it.
That's true. But yeah, hopefully they'll work out well. They're also doing it with Studio Dean though, so who knows.
Mm.
Deadpool director Tim Miller developing Sonic the Hedgehog film. I don't know why Although it used to work, but it was Universal inherits DreamWorks live-action Voltron project with David Hayter writing, and then the final piece of news is
David Hayter.
yeah,
Metal Gear.
yeah, and then the final piece of news is Scarlett Johansson and the live-action Ghost in the Shell producers are commenting on how the adaptation will pan out. So they
Horribly.
I was about to
badly,
say, but
yeah.
is it poorly?
Damn.
Johansson commented that the movie will not be taking the character right from the source material. One thing that'll be very different, probably.
They've taken shots right from the source material, though.
Dang.
One thing that will be
Straight
very
up
different,
stolen.
probably, is that we're not making the Frank Miller world where those graphic novels come to life. We have kind of the iconography of the manga and stuff. Sorry, I had to kind of like, but I think people will be surprised at the gritty kind of realness of this. What the? Okay, God, I'm
So real.
for a person that doesn't have a heart, it has a lot of heart. I think the way that we're telling it.
What?
Film
does
will
that
not be
mean?
an adapting of one story. It will draw story elements from Ghost in the Shell standalone complex and Ghost in the Shell standalone complex second game.
Original content.
And
Yeah, they've fucking ripped in those little teasers. They rip scenes,
Oh,
like
God.
just straight up scenes from the anime.
Don't worry,
So,
it's gonna be.
It's just gonna be bad.
It's gonna be.
It's gonna be a mishmash of like 4 different series, and it's gonna be horrible.
Keep an ear out for when they go, are you telling me the Major's some ghost in a shell?
Keep an ear out for when the major
So
goes.
Some kind of ghost